Hello students, in my last lecture we were discussing about how to make an effective PowerPoint presentation. So as we know that the biggest challenge for a presenter is how to reduce the boredom of the entire presentation process and how to attract the attention of the audience. So today we shall be discussing some points which will help you to reduce the boredom of the audience and to make a good presentation. So students, what is boredom? Boredom is the feeling, boredom or being bored is the feeling you get when you are doing nothing and don't understand, and you don't actually understand what to do or what you're supposed to do. So according to Zainab Salman, boredom or the feeling of bored is the worst thing you can do without doing anything. So what happens when we are bored? We generally waste time, we don't do anything, there is no generation of new ideas, and since there is no generation of new ideas, we'll end up doing nothing. So whenever we are making a presentation, it is but obvious that the presenter who is making the presentation is the most tensed and nervous person, because he has to present things. But the audience, what does the audience do while the presentation is going on, and how can the presenter attract the attention of the audience while making a presentation? So for this, your presentation needs to be very effective. If your presentation is effective, it's good, it can attract the attention of the audience. So there are certain tips that I'm going to share which will help you to reduce the boredom and to make the presentation effective. Number one is, while we are presenting, it is very important for the presenter to show the passion and to connect with the audience. Now, what do you mean by showing passion? Now, when we are presenting a topic, it should be like as if this topic is very near to my heart, and this is my favorite topic, or it is the topic on which I've done a lot of research. So when you're speaking with passion, then people get attracted. Another thing is that how will you connect with your audience? So how to connect with your audience? Number one, you need to be enthusiastic and honest, and the audience will respond. If you know something, well and good. If you do not know, then you need to confess. You cannot keep on arguing and proving your point that I am right. Okay, so at the same time, there should be a lot of zeal and enthusiasm while you are making a presentation. If the way I'm speaking is very important, because if I'm speaking in a very dull way, monotonous way, then people will not be interested to even look at my presentation, and they will not hear me, although they'll be sitting at the same room or same place, but they'll not be listening to me. Then is, we need to focus on the audience need. It is very important. So always keep in mind what the audience needs and wants to know, rather than what I can tell them. So before presenting, we need to do certain surveys, like what kind of audience is there, what is the knowledge level of the audience, and accordingly we should make the presentation, or accordingly we should decide what we should be speaking. If my audience is not very much knowledgeable or learned, I need to interact with them rather than a one-way communication. I need to have a two-ways communication in order to understand their level of knowledge and their level of understanding about the topic. Then we need to keep it very simple. We need to convey the key or the main message for the audience to take away. We need to smile and make eye contact with the audience, very important. So if there is a lot of tension in my face, I forget to smile, I forget to have eye contact with my audience, then the audience will get distracted, they will get bored, and the entire purpose of making the presentation goes down the drain. another thing is that the beginning of the presentation is the most crucial part, and it should be very effective. So try to start with a story or an attention grabbing slide or image. So I have seen that when we sit as audience, and if the presenter starts with a slide or a story, the moment he starts with a story, interesting story, the the temperament is attained. Okay, everybody's eyes are fixed on the presenter, and it works magically. People, in one instant, in one go, they connect themselves with the presentation. So it's very important to maybe start the presentation with a story, or ask, the first thing you can do is ask question to the audience and wake them up. Okay, and make a connection between the audience and the presenter. Then you can tell stories also, because stories or the incidents will help the audience to pay attention and also remember things. So if something is conveyed, some message is being conveyed, or an important point is has to be conveyed to the audience, then narrating a story or an interesting, attractive image can do it all. Okay, then we need to, another very important thing is voice modulation. We need to use our voice very effectively by changing the pitch and the tone of the voice from time to time. A flat pitch or a flat a voice without any modulation will again not attract the attention of the audience will not be looking at the presenter all the time, but his ears are always they paying attention on what the speaker is speaking. So even if he is not looking at the presenter, but he is hearing, so it's very important that the voice is modulated from time to time, depending upon the what we want to convey, and what we want to actually, or what we want to extract from the audience. Then apart from the voice modulation or the verbal mode, we can also use non-verbal modes of communication, like body language, then the movement of my hands, arms, my facial expression, the way I'm standing, the way I'm carrying myself, also has a lot of impact on the entire presentation. Now, when you are making a presentation, you need to relax, you need to breathe. As I said, you need to also smile from time to time, and you need to enjoy your presentation. You might go wrong at times, you might feel very nervous from within, but you should not show this nervousness to the audience, or else the audience will overcome you. So it is always important for the presenter to overcome all these fears and try to be as normal as possible. Then another very effective practice that can be done is the use of handouts. When we are using handouts and we are making the presentation, so simultaneously what is happening is that handouts, since they contain some extra information which cannot be mentioned during the presentation, so these handouts will lessen our burden of speaking, and at the same time these handouts can be also referred later on. Then we need to engage the audience. Another very challenging thing is, how do we engage the audience? We need to involve the audience in what we are saying or we want to convey. So for that, we need to ask questions to the audience. Let them think, let them discuss that, let them plan, and then present it. Then apart from that, we can also have the audience more and do some physical activities like role plays, skits, presentations. We can go we can have some question answer sessions or some activity sessions where some activities given to them, and for that some props can also be given to them, because when a person is doing and learning, it is more effective way of learning and understanding, and at the same time remembering. So these are some of the important tips which needs to be taken care of or needs to be kept in mind while making an effective presentation. Thank you.